Saltwater pools are often advertised as easier to maintain, but that does not mean they take care of themselves. A wrong generator setting, poor circulation, rising pH, or one careless salt addition can lead to cloudy water, algae, damaged surfaces, and an expensive salt cell replacement. Let's begin with one of the most overlooked problems. Mistake number 1, not running the pump long enough. Your saltwater generator only produces chlorine while water is flowing through the system. If the pump runs for only a few hours, the generator may not have enough time to create the chlorine your pool needs. This becomes especially important during hot weather, after heavy rain, or when many people are using the pool. If you have a variable speed pump, the speed must also be high enough to activate the generator's flow sensor. When the water flow is too low, the salt system may stop producing chlorine, even though the pump is technically running. There is no single pump schedule that works for every pool. The correct runtime depends on the pool size, pump speed, generator output, weather, sunlight, water temperature, and swimmer load. Test the chlorine regularly and adjust the pump runtime and generator percentage together. If the chlorine keeps dropping, increasing the generator output will not help much if the pump is not running long enough. Mistake number 2, ignoring rising pH. Saltwater pools commonly experience rising pH. This happens naturally as the generator operates. When the pH becomes too high, chlorine becomes less effective. Swimmers may experience irritated eyes or skin, and calcium scale can begin forming inside the pool and on the salt cell. Test your pH at least once a week. For many pools, a good target is around 7.4 to 7.6, although the correct range may depend on the overall water balance. If the pH rises, use muriatic acid or another approved pH reducer. Add it carefully and follow the product instructions. Never mix acid with chlorine or any other pool chemical. If your pH rises constantly, check the generator runtime, total alkalinity, and overall water balance instead of repeatedly adding large amounts of acid without understanding the cause. Mistake number 3, assuming the generator is producing enough chlorine. Seeing lights on the control panel does not prove that the pool has enough chlorine. The system may be running, but the chlorine level can still be too low because of sunlight, heavy use, algae, low salt, cold water, poor circulation, or a dirty cell. Test the free chlorine at least once a week. Many residential pools operate around 1 to 3 parts per million, but the correct chlorine level also depends on cyanuric acid and current pool conditions. If chlorine is low, check the generator output, pump runtime, salt level, water temperature, salt cell condition, and the amount of stabilizer in the water. Do not automatically add salt every time the chlorine level drops. Low chlorine does not always mean low salt. If the chlorine is too high, reduce the output setting or shorten the generator runtime. Mistake number 4, cleaning the salt cell the wrong way. The salt cell is one of the most expensive parts of the system, and improper cleaning can shorten its life. Over time, calcium can form white deposits between the metal plates inside the cell. Inspect the cell according to the manufacturer's schedule. For many systems, checking it every few months is reasonable. Always turn off the power before removing or inspecting the cell. If you see light buildup, gently rinse it with water. Do not scrape the plates with a screwdriver, metal brush, knife, or another hard object. This can damage the protective coating. Acid cleaning should only be used when the manufacturer recommends it and when water cannot remove the scale. Cleaning the cell with acid too frequently can also damage it. When handling muriatic acid, wear gloves, eye protection, long sleeves, and work in a well-ventilated area. Always add acid to water, never water to acid. Mistake number 5, adding too much salt at once. Salt normally stays in the pool. It does not disappear through evaporation, which means an excessive salt level can be difficult to correct. The main way to lower salinity is to drain some pool water and replace it with fresh water. Before adding salt, test the existing salinity. Then confirm the recommended operating range for your specific generator and calculate the amount based on the pool volume. Do not estimate by looking at the pool. Add slightly less salt than the calculated amount. Allow it to dissolve completely, circulate the water, and test again. You can always add more later. It is much harder to remove salt after too much has been added. Also keep the generator turned off while adding and dissolving the salt, unless the manufacturer specifically states otherwise. Brush any salt piles from the pool floor so they do not sit on the surface. Before we continue, subscribe to Homeblue for simple pool care videos that help you avoid expensive mistakes and keep your water clean and clear. Mistake number 6, allowing salt residue to build up around the pool. The salt concentration inside a properly balanced pool is generally manageable. The problem often appears when water splashes out and evaporates, leaving concentrated salt behind. That residue can collect on metal rails, ladders, lights, automatic cover parts, equipment, and surrounding surfaces. Over time, it may contribute to corrosion or surface damage. Rinse exposed metal and poolside areas regularly with fresh water, especially after heavy pool use. Pay close attention to natural stone, such as limestone, which may be more sensitive to salt. If you have an automatic pool cover, rinse the tracks and metal components occasionally. You should also inspect seals and O-rings and use a pool-safe lubricant where recommended by the equipment manufacturer. Mistake number 7, testing only chlorine and salt. Chlorine and salt are important, but they are not the entire water balance. Saltwater pool owners also need to monitor total alkalinity, cyanuric acid, and calcium hardness. Total alkalinity helps stabilize the pH. Many pools operate around 80 to 120 parts per million, but the ideal target depends on the pool and the products being used. Cyanuric acid, also called CYA or stabilizer, protects chlorine from being destroyed by sunlight. Many saltwater systems recommend a CYA level around 60 to 80 parts per million, but always follow the instructions for your specific generator. Too little CYA can make the generator work harder because sunlight destroys the chlorine quickly. Too much CYA can make chlorine less effective and may require partial water replacement. Calcium hardness also matters, because high calcium, especially together with high pH, can create scale inside the salt cell and around the pool. The proper calcium level depends on the pool's surface. A plaster pool will have different needs from fiberglass or vinyl. Test these levels regularly and make small adjustments instead of adding several chemicals at the same time. Mistake number 8. Expecting the salt generator to fix green or cloudy water. A salt generator is designed to maintain clean water gradually. It is not the fastest tool for correcting a major algae problem, cloudy water, or severe contamination. After a pool party, storm, heavy rain, or algae outbreak, the pool may need a faster chlorine increase. In that situation, test the water and add liquid chlorine or another suitable shock treatment when necessary. Some generators have a boost or superchlorinate mode, but using this feature for long periods can put additional wear on the salt cell. Manually adding liquid chlorine is often faster and more efficient than forcing the generator to run at maximum output for many hours. Also, avoid shocking the pool automatically just because a certain day of the week has arrived. Test the water first. Shock should be based on the pool's condition, chlorine demand, contamination, and water clarity. Mistake number 9. Trusting the salt reading on the control panel. The salinity displayed by the generator may not always be correct. Cold water, scale inside the cell, an aging sensor, or equipment problems can cause inaccurate readings. Test the salt level manually at least once a month with salt test strips or a digital salinity meter. You should also test after heavy rain, draining, backwashing, major splash out, adding fresh water, or receiving a low salt warning. Do not keep adding salt only because the display says the level is low. Confirm the reading first. If a manual test shows that the salt level is correct, the problem may be the cell, sensor, connection, or water temperature. Mistake number 10. Thinking salt water means chlorine-free. This is one of the biggest misconceptions about saltwater pools. A saltwater pool is still sanitized with chlorine. The generator uses dissolved salt to create chlorine through a process called electrolysis. That chlorine kills bacteria, helps prevent algae, and keeps the water safe. The difference is that chlorine is produced gradually inside the system instead of being added manually as often. This can create a steadier chlorine level and may reduce the strong chlorine smell associated with poorly balanced traditional pools. But a saltwater pool still requires chlorine testing, chemical balancing, filtration, brushing, vacuuming, and equipment care. The salt system does not remove leaves. It does not clean the filter. It does not balance the pH. And it cannot tell you everything happening in the water. A saltwater pool can be easier to maintain, but only when the owner understands what the generator can and cannot do. Avoid these 10 mistakes, and you can protect the salt cell, reduce chemical problems, prevent algae, and keep the pool much easier to manage. I'm Anne from HomeBlue. We proudly serve South Florida. If you have questions or need professional help with your home or pool, search for HomeBlue. Leave a comment and subscribe for more practical home care tips. Thank you for watching and enjoy your clean, clear pool.